All right, so jumping straight into one of the first elements of being able to start an online business is going to be the business idea. So many of you that are watching this video tend to get stuck on this stage because you're not really sure of exactly which business is the best one for you to put your time into. Now, there's a couple different things that you need to think about when it comes to the initial stage of you coming up with a business idea, and I'm going to break it down for you. So one of the first steps that you're going to need to take is that you need to do the research when it comes to all of the different business opportunities that you can do today. Once you've got an entire list of all of the different options and you've also looked at the different pros and cons with each one, it's going to make it a little bit more clearer when it comes to which business opportunity is the best one for you to move forward with. And there's a number of different ways that you can do your research when it comes to knowing all of the different business ideas that are out there. For example, you can go onto something like ChatGPT and say, what are the top 20 business opportunities right now? And then from there, you can also ask it to give you the different pros and cons when it comes to each one. And I know you probably clicked on this video hoping that I was going to give you the golden business opportunity that's going to change your life. And things don't really work like that because it all depends on your existing skill set. It depends on your personality type. It also depends on what excites you. And it also depends on what you're going to be able to stick with over the foreseeable future. Realistically, most of the different business models that exist right now work, and you're going to be able to do them, generate revenues from them as well as profits. But again, it's all going to come down to which one excites you and which one you want to do yourself. Now, just to give you an example using my own backstory, the online business model that I decided to do back when I was working my 9-to-5 job was an eBay business. Even though back then this wasn't the most popular business to do, most people was excited about Forex, day trading stocks and things like that. But the reason why I went down the path of building up an eBay business is because number one, I was a customer on eBay, so I knew exactly how things worked. And number two, within myself, I knew that I had what it took for me to grow an eBay business, and that's exactly what happened. So if you're currently at this stage of your journey, when it comes to coming up with the business idea, of course you need to look outwards when it comes to doing research, knowing which opportunities exist, but you're also going to have to look inwards when it comes to deciding on what matches your personality, what matches your skill set, and what you're going to be able to continue doing through any obstacle. But moving on to one of the second elements of starting an online business that tends to confuse so many people, which is business registration. So one common question that I've been getting from the start of me doing this YouTube and educating people when it comes to building an online business is, Sam, when exactly do I need to register my business as an LLC or an LTD? And to be completely honest with you, there's no straightforward answer that I can give you because, again, it all depends on your personal situation. It all depends on how you want to run your business. But there is a couple points that I can give you to kind of give you some clarity as to how you can make this decision. Now, first things first, what I would say is majority of you that are watching this video that's thinking about starting some sort of a side hustle, you don't necessarily need to register your business from day one. My advice to you is to run your business as a self-employed person, as an individual, maybe get to the point of bringing in $5,000, £5,000, whatever it is. And once you're sure that this business is something that you want to continue doing, from there you can now think about registering it and making things official. The main benefit of registering your business as an LLC or an LTD is that depending on what type of business that you've started, what type of products you're selling, it's going to give you a professional outlook to your customers. But in addition to that, you're also going to be able to save money on taxes, which I'm going to speak about a little bit later on in this video. Because when you're running a business as a self-employed person, the tax rate is going to be much higher than if you was running your business as an official registered business. You're going to be able to write off so many things, save more money, and just have a lot more flexibility. But as I said, I'm going to speak about that later on in this video. But the overall point that I'm trying to make is that you don't want to register your business from day one. You want to see how things go, and once things start to pick up, that's when you can now register your business. But moving on to one of the next elements of making money online that confuses so many people, which is when to get a bank account, how to use a bank account, as well as credit cards. Now, the reason why this confuses so many people, and it also confused me when I first got started, is because I didn't know if I was allowed to use my personal bank account when it came to the sales and revenues that I was making from my business. And I'm just going to give you some quick advice on how you can structure things and how you can do things moving forward. Now, you are allowed to use your personal bank account when it comes to receiving money from your business. My recommendation is to have separate bank accounts so that you're not mixing up your personal transactions with your business ones. But the ultimate goal is for you to have a dedicated business bank account. Even if you're operating your business as a self-employed person, you want to have a bank account that's strictly for your business, because it's going to make things a lot more easier when it comes to you monitoring how much money you're making, profit and loss, your balance sheet, so on and so forth. And when it comes to the topic of when and how you should use credit cards, number one, my advice to every single one of you watching this video is to not take out a loan if you don't have to. With all of the different businesses that I've ever built, I've never really taken out some sort of a loan when it came to getting the business up and running. I've always, earned money from a job, bootstrapped that and tried to grow that over time. If you take out a loan, you're just instantly putting yourself in debt, and it's going to make things really, really difficult. But what I would say when it comes to using credit cards is that you want to try and get some sort of a credit card that's going to give you points back, because that way, as you're spending money on your marketing, as you're spending money on various different business expenses, you're going to be earning money in the process. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, here is 3 of the different business credit cards that I'm currently using for 3 different businesses that I'm running. From these different credit cards, I've been able to build up hundreds and thousands of different American Express points that I can use not only on flights, but I can use on whatever I want. If I want to buy a new laptop, I'm going to be able to use the points. Camera equipment, marketing expenses, I'm going to be able to redeem the points that I get from simply using these different credit cards. But it is important for you to know that when it comes to any credit card that you get, you don't want to have the mindset of not paying the money back within the same month. You want to take out a credit card with the sole intention of being able to earn points. But within the same month that you spend any money on any credit card, you want to pay that money back ASAP so that you don't get charged any interest. But those are the key things that you need to be aware of as a beginner when it comes to bank accounts and credit cards. Now, moving on to one of the next things that you need to know when it comes time for you to start making money online and building an online business is when exactly do you start hiring employees and using freelancers? So one mistake that you want to avoid as a beginner is thinking that you need to hire an employee from day one. The way that I like to grow my online businesses is I like to do everything myself initially, especially when I first started with an online business and I didn't really have that much money. I like to do everything from, building the business, whether it's an e-com store, finding winning products, listing products, running ads. I like to try and, wear all of the hats, because when it does come time for you to hire an employee, you're going to be able to train them in the best possible way. Now, in saying that, once you do start making money from your business, you've got extra profits, you do want to have the mindset of outsourcing things, especially when it comes to the repetitive tasks that you don't have to do yourself. And you're going to be able to find someone that's going to be able to do a better job. But the main point that I'm trying to make right now is that if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, you don't want to think about this in the initial stages. It's something that you're going to think about as you're growing your business. Now, when it comes to where to find all of these different employees and freelancers, there's so many different ways that you can do it. But the main way that I've been able to find long-term employees that's helped me out with all of my different online businesses is by using websites like freelancer.com, Fiverr, and Upwork. I've got employees that started off as freelancers that I found on all of these different websites, and they've been able to help me with my business in a number of different ways over the past few years. So I definitely recommend those sites when it comes to finding people that's going to help you with your business. But again, this isn't something that you want to do at the start of your journey. You want to try and do everything yourself. You want to know exactly how your business operates, because if you're relying on someone from day one, as soon as there's a problem or as soon as that person isn't able to work for you anymore, you're not going to be able to deal with things yourself and your business is going to end up collapsing. But moving on to the next element of building an online business that I want to talk about, which is taxes. Now, taxes is going to be one of the most important things that you need to think about as a business owner, because it's more than likely going to be one of your biggest business expenses. And when it comes to the topic of taxes, most new business owners don't think about it and they don't consider it until it's too late. Now, I'm not saying that from the moment that you decide to start your online business, you need to think about taxes from that very second, but all I'm saying is that from the moment that you start generating a profit, you're going to have to pay some sort of tax. And how much tax you're going to have to pay is all going to be dependent on what country you live in and what country your business is based in. So I'm not really too sure on the rules when it comes to taxes in the United States, but it's very similar to the way that the UK works. And in the UK, there's a number of different taxes that you're going to need to pay as a business owner. For example, you're going to have to pay corporation tax. This is the tax that you're going to have to pay once a year on the profits that your business made. There's also going to be things like sales tax or VAT tax, also known as value added tax. There's going to be employee taxes. If you want to pay yourself, you're going to have to pay income taxes on that. And you're also going to have to pay dividend taxes. And just generally speaking, there's a number of different taxes that you need to be aware of. And if you're not aware of them and it's too late, you're not going to budget for it. And that's going to be another reason why your business is going to end up failing. Now, the best advice that I can give you is to get some sort of a bookkeeper / accountant that's going to be able to advise you on how you can reduce your tax bill. And when I say reduce your tax bill, I'm speaking legally. This is going to be by writing things off, business expenses, making sure that you deduct the right things. I was fortunate enough to go to university, graduate with an accounting and finance degree, work as a bookkeeper and a financial accountant. So I've got some background knowledge when it comes to knowing how to manage a business finances in the best way. But if you don't have that experience or you don't have that privilege, then of course, you're going to have to outsource this to someone else that's going to be able to help you. But this now brings me on to one of the final elements that you need to know when it comes time for you to start your online business, which is the concept of growth and scale. Now, if there's one thing that I've learned with the majority of the different online businesses that I've built, is that you need to have the mindset of continuously growing your revenues and profits. Because I've seen so many beginners that see a little bit of success. Maybe they've made, I don't know, $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000 in a single month. And because they've generated this money with their business that they've never seen before in their life, they end up getting complacent. They end up, not putting in the effort when it comes to growing past that. My mindset is a little bit different with all of the different businesses that I built. If I'm able to generate $1,000 from that business, I know that I can now generate 20,000 in a month, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, because it's all about the concept of growing and scaling. In addition to you growing and scaling the revenues that your business is making, you also want to make sure that you're reinvesting the money that your business is making for you to earn a passive income. This is one thing that I never heard any person talk about when I was learning how to start my online business, but over the years, I've realized that instead of keeping the money that my business has made in a standard bank account, not earning any interest at all, I'm able to put that money into index funds for me to be able to earn not only a profit, but also earn a dividend as well. Most people believe that they can only start investing when it comes to their personal funds, but you can actually invest your business funds, and this is a great way for you to put your money to work, again, rather than having it sit in a basic bank account. And just to give you a quick example of what I'm talking about, here is this recent investment portfolio that I started not too long ago for a new online business that I started building. And in this portfolio, as you can see, I've got around £70,000 as a balance. That's maybe around $90,000. And from this one portfolio, I've been able to earn around $7,000 or £6,700. Again, maybe a bit more, a bit less, in profit without having to do a single thing. And this is a powerful thing to realize, because not only are you able to make money from your day-to-day business activities, but you're also going to be able to make money on the money that you're making as well. And of course, there is some other things that you need to know when it comes to this entire concept. But generally speaking, I just wanted to give you, the broad overview of what you need to know when it comes time for you to start your online business. If you've gotten any sort of value or you've learned anything from this video, press the like button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know when a new video has been released. Comment down below if you got any questions. I'm trying my best to respond back to as many comments as possible. So if you got any questions at all, just put it in the comment box down below. And if you also wanted to sign up to a completely free email newsletter where every single week I'm going to send you an email, a personal email written by myself to kind of give you some tips and tricks with all of the different things that I've spoken about and just generally with all of the different side hustles that I've been able to start. So if you want to sign up to that free email newsletter, it's going to be linked down below, top link in the description. And if you wanted to watch a recent YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I show you step by step, click by click, how you can start a side hustle as a beginner, just click the link over there, watch that video straight after this because that video has already helped out so many people. I've gotten so much good feedback from it and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you on the next YouTube video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.